Alright, hello ladies and gentlemen, Magic here. I'm going to give you some more casting tonight. Now I just kind of decided this about 10 minutes ago, so I mean it's kind of a spur of the moment kind of day. But we do have 3 games of Kamikiri, who plays a very high level play of Zug, top 8 Masters level contender here, and he's going to be playing against a bunch of Grandmaster level games here. Now, I do have something special today. Today we're actually going to be playing some StarCraft 1 music in the background, so I hope you guys enjoy it. If not, I apologize, but that's what I'm doing. So, yeah, let's get that going, and let's jump into the game here. Let's actually turn it down just slightly. That should be good. Alright. Hopefully it's good with the sound levels of my voice and all that. Let's even put it down a little bit more, just to make sure. Right now it's on 14, so should be good. Anyways, let's jump into this game here. Let's resume it and remove the overlay. Wait, yep, here we go. Alright, so we have Kamikiri, who is spawned at the top right. That's actually the bottom right. I don't know why I said top, but it's about at the 8 o'clock position here. And his opponent is cZaseohyeon, who is apparently a Grandmaster level player who plays Terran. So this is very high level play right here. And let's put up those nice fancy overlays. Now this is Metalopolis. They did make some changes on it pretty recently. I mean, you can't spawn close ground or anything like that. So I mean, they added it back to the pool. It was gone for a little bit, but it's such a popular map, Blizzard decided to bring it back. So it should be good. You know, they just removed the close positions just because 2 barracks all-ins are really annoying to deal with as Zerg, and at the same time Protoss was having problems against Zerg, where Zerg would just all-in after Protoss expands, and Protoss just can't do much about it. So that really sucks for, you know, the win percentages. So I'm glad that they really fixed that. So we do like to have some good, wholesome, balanced maps here on StarCraft 2. Alright, so what is this guy going to be doing, Yeon? Let's see, he's going to be plopping down that barracks. Let's see if he gets that Geyser or if he's going to be going for 2 racks now. Geyser play has become a lot more popular than the 2 barracks play, so I do believe he will be getting a Geyser at that. It looks like this Kamikiri decided not to move his Overlord out of the way. Apparently now he's going to be moving it out of the way. Got really close there. I'm sure Terran, yeah, he definitely has seen it. And, well, Zerg, he's throwing down, he's got a drone over here. Looks like he's going to be taking the gold here. Now this is, actually no, he's going to be just taking his natural for an expansion. I really thought he was going to be taking the gold since he had that drone up there. Apparently he's just checking things out. Maybe just thought about it, decided not to. So he's taking that hatchery right on, I believe it was on 16. Actually, it's probably on 15. And now just droning up. Looks like he's going to be plopping down a pool right on 16 here. And then probably getting gas in due time here. Now, generally speaking in this matchup, this is a very good build. It's actually something I just started doing myself. You know, of course you go hatch first against Terran in most cases, then you get a pool and an extractor. But you delay the extractor just a little bit. You know, if you see him put down a gas, you delay it just a little bit, and then you can do a lot of good stuff with that. But looks like actually Terran's coming out of his hole here, going to be building a bunker at the bottom here. Nope, the drone's already caught on. Going to be killing off that SV. He's not going to be able to place down that bunker. And the second SV coming out to place a bunker. We'll see, yeah, actually they come back right away to kill off that bunker. Meanwhile, there's a Marine on the way. He's heading his way across the fields here. We do have a second one as well. Now, this is only a 1 barracks play. I'm really curious to know what he's going to do as a follow-up. It looks like he's going to be expanding. He definitely has the money for it. Meanwhile, it looks like the drone's picked off the bunker, and that Marine is going to be running back to safety. We'll see. Let's see. All 6 Zerglings were forced from Kamikiri, so Kamikiri just playing it safe. You know, in this kind of play, it does set you back. You know, if Terran's expanding, that definitely sets you back. I like this a lot from our Terran player here. You force that, you know, those Zerglings, and then, you know, that's 3 Zerglings that Kamikiri doesn't have now. And now, you know, he just lost a drone here, so I mean, that's a lot of drones that he doesn't have in the early game, and that's the crucial point where you want to be droning up. So now he's throwing down an expansion behind it. Now Zerg isn't going to have a good opportunity to attack that when it's floating over there just because of that expansion. So, I mean, if he adds on a lot of Zerglings, he could do it, but I really don't think he's going to have enough. He's probably not going to try to do that. Probably just going to go ahead and maybe expand one more time after he drones up a little bit. We'll see what he decides to do. It looks like he did just get the gas for the speed, so he's going to be getting that for a little bit of safety. Meanwhile, it looks like 3 Marines here. Actually, a couple of Zerglings were picked off there. Looks like this guy's the hero, this guy in the center there. And actually, this guy's the bigger hero. He has 2 kills there. No damage caused at all except for this guy in the center. And, well, Kamikiri probably just going to go back to droning. He is building actually 10 Zerglings right now. They're just coming out. We'll see if he decides to do some aggression with that. He does know about the command center. That's, you know, the secondary command center. He knows that his opponent is going to be expanding. So with that, I believe he might actually be attempting to attack in there. You know, with that speed coming online, he has those Zerglings out. And, I mean, that's a lot of Zerglings early on. You know, he lost those few early on, and now he has 10 more, and, well, it looks like he's going to be picking off these Marines anyway in the center, and Terran's really not going to have a lot to defend after that. You know, all these Marines are actually being killed off pretty reasonably here, and there's actually just 1 more left, actually 2 more left. The 2 Zerglings going to be running away. They don't have enough hit points to take those guys on. Very smart move there from Kamikiri. So we'll see when Terran plops down that command center, and we'll see. Actually, Kamikiri is definitely going to be busting in there. He has a lot of Zerglings coming out right now. Speed's just about to finish. He even has some creep spread going, and we'll see if he drones up or if he decides to just all in with this. You know, that's pretty much the difference for Zerg between an all in or not. You know, are you going to drone, you know, after a couple of Zerglings, or are you going to go all in? It looks like he is going to be droning. He has 4 coming online. And, well, Terran's gearing up to expand right now, so this might be the opportune time. The bunker's not finished. If the bunker is... it looks like it might finish. I don't know. Zerg definitely held the watchtower for too long. He could have definitely rushed in here right away. And it looks like he's even checking over here to... I don't know why, just to, you know, get his Zerglings on that side of the town. But, well, the bunker has finished, and now he's definitely not going to be able to do too much with that bunker there. He's definitely going to be able to run around it, though. I mean, if Terran doesn't close the wall at the top of the ramp, then Zerglings get in the base, and that's a lot of lost SCVs. But anyways, it looks like Kamikiri not going to go ahead with that, just going to be playing it safe. There are a lot of Marines out here, so it's good, definitely good not to lose those Zergers there, Zerglings. Meanwhile, it looks like he did plop down a macro hatch during all this, and now he's even getting a baneling a baneling nest and a couple of evolution chambers, so he's probably going to be going with those upgrades while getting maybe a couple more Zerglings. Maybe he's just getting the baneling nest just in case Terran decides to attack here. But either way, I don't feel like he has enough drones here. I mean, Terran's definitely going to be pushing ahead here with those 2 command centers. And Zerg, let's see, what was the unit count? 38 drones to 33 SCVs. So Zerg is a little bit ahead on there, but I mean, he definitely could have been much more ahead if he played it a little bit differently. Without getting those Zerglings, without trying to bust in there, without getting these upgrades. These upgrades are definitely going to be costing him that money that could have been spent on drones. So anyways, he is taking a 3rd as well, so he, you know, that macro hatch for now just going to be getting up some extra drones with that, and then going ahead and getting that 3rd going. And we'll see if Terran tries to bust in there. Actually, it's moving out of the base right now. He does have the combat shields, but he does not have Stim. Stim is still on the way. So I'm not sure if I like this at all, because Stim is just so darn crucial, especially when you're on creep. Zerglings, if he has enough Zerglings, he can just surround you and you are screwed. But it looks like he's just going to go ahead and take out those creep tumors with that scan and possibly move back. Nope, looks like he's going to go ahead and try to kill off a whole bunch of them. Nope, just going to be checking that 3rd, and Zerg, he does have some banelings here. No speed yet, since the layer's not finished, but, well, you got to be careful. Those banelings, you don't want them explode, but there's a really good split. Look at that. Marines spreading in all different directions, and now Zergling's going to be cleaning that up, but the baneling's not as effective. And, well, without that stim, you're not going to be able to kite these Zerglings at all, and all these Marines are going to be lost here. So definitely a little bit of a, you know, loss there for Terran, but it's kind of saying, okay, if Zerg doesn't have enough Zerglings, I'm going to do a lot of damage, and then if he does, he's already set so far back that it's okay if I lose a couple of guys there. So I do like that play a little bit, you know, just to force that. Plus you killed off all the creep tumors, so I mean, without those creep tumors, that's going to be really hard for Zerg later on if he doesn't get that creep spread on. As creep, I'd say, is extremely important in this matchup. I mean, when it comes to Marines and tanks against Zerglings and Banelings, you need that creep, because I mean, the Zerglings need to surround so that those Banelings can get in there, and with that additional speed, that's really crucial to do that. Otherwise, Marines will just surround you, and then, or not surround you, you'll just get kited all day long, and it'll just be nasty. But anyways, looks like a medevac has dropped a few guys at the watchtower. Did lose a couple of guys there, but well, joining up with the rest of the crew. Actually, it looks like he's pushing once again with 3 tanks, a bunch of Marines, and he even has a medevac to drop on the high ground here. So that's extremely difficult for Zerg to deal with. And look at that, sieging back here at a very good spot, not too close that you know, a lot of players will just siege up really close to the high ground, and then roaches or something will just come over and kill him. So I mean, it's really annoying to deal with. Actually, he is going to be going ahead and doing that, but you know, just assuming that Zerg does not have any roaches, since he did go baneling, that is a pretty good assumption. But yeah, just loading up all these tanks, and now there's a secondary medevac here just going to be dropping even quicker. Zerg coming around from both sides here, attacking. That's really how you want to be doing it, and those banelings going to be going off on the tank, but it's still going to be a pretty good trade to get rid of it. You don't want it to kill stuff off. And, well, we'll see. Terran is reinforcing this pretty darn heavily. He has a lot of Marines and tanks streaming in here. No expansion. Actually, no, he's just about to plop down that expansion. And with that, he's going to be able to continue the game on if this fails. And, well, we'll see if he backs out or if it continues with this. He really needs to do some damage with this if he doesn't. I mean, if he doesn't, because otherwise he's just sitting there and he's going to die, and that would not be good. So it looks like Zerg having a really good surround there, actually just picking up at the last second when those bandings get off on there. And that tank just doing a little bit of extra damage. Very good placement on that tank. And now the meteors are out, so he's got to drop all those Marines on there. Make sure those meteors do not kill off that tank. Actually, the tank is lost, and the Marines now coming in. Baneling about to go off. Nope, they're going to all load it into that medevac. Only 1 Marine wasted with that Baneling. And now a bunch of Marines coming up towards the center here. Going to go right up to that third, pressure it, and kill off as many drones as possible. Zerglings coming out here going to be killed off as well. And now there's even another macro hatch, so he's planning to get a ton of Zerglings here. He has a lot of money, so I mean, I don't mind that fact that he's doing that. I would have preferred that he got it at the 4th, but again, with drops and things, that's not really all that safe, so I mean, it is still a good choice to be doing it like that. Anyways, that medevac was picked off. Meanwhile, the attack still coming online here. 1 siege tank, a bunch of Marines, and actually 4 medevacs, actually 2 tanks now. Just going to be loading up. Continuing on with this nice contain here. A very good spot, you know, just having the high ground and the low ground makes it so Zerg can't really run by on this you know, fast track here. He has to go all the way around, and also at the same time he can pressure the main and do a whole bunch of damage and lift up into the medevacs if necessary. So that's exactly what he's doing right here, just lifting up if he sees a lot of Zerglings like that. Now Zerg really needs to come around here with a bunch of Zerglings and kill off these tanks while just having a couple of mutas up here to deal with any possible Marines on the high ground. And it looks like that's exactly what he's doing. He's coming around with a whole bunch of Zerglings here, killing off those tanks, and actually all the Marines did not lift up onto the high ground, so they're in, well, they're in a pretty good position, but Zerg looking like he's in a little bit of a better position. He does have the +1 armor, +1 attack, Marines sitting on nothing, and tanks sitting on nothing, so I mean, he really needs to get up with those upgrades, and it looks like he just doesn't have any at all. Meanwhile, it looks like he's about to take the gold with that command center while continuing on with this pressure, so this is incredible. This is such a really high level play. If they spent their money just a little bit more, this would be ridiculously good. But yeah, Terran expanding now, getting up his SVs with that transfer, and well, Mutas coming around to destroy them before the turrets go up. You really got to be careful with that. You kind of want to put the turrets up before the command center gets there, and that's pretty much what he was doing, but the command center is now there, and there's no turrets, no SCVs, so that's actually going to be killed off. But meanwhile, it looks like the Mutas actually going to be flocking away since there are some Marines there to take care of them. Kamikiri actually sitting down a lot of Zerglings here, more Banelings. And we'll see, the worker count looks pretty good for Zerg. Actually looks about even, if you include mules, actually a little bit uneven. Terran's a little bit ahead with that. Just means he can crank out a lot more Marines than Zerg can right now. Meanwhile, it looks like all the Zerglings sprinting forward now, clean up this harass here once and for all, and it looks like he definitely has enough to do that. Lots of Marines still alive, but at the same time, a lot of Banglings still streaming in there, and now there's still a lot of good surrounds going on, and only a handful of Marines left. He definitely could have picked that off, but meanwhile, there's a drop in the main. Just too many Marines going after that Queen. You definitely want to clean that up. Don't worry about the little bunch of units that are growing in that spot there. You want to clean up the damage that is being dealt to you. And now the Mutas trying to do as much as they can, but there's 2 Marines here, and the Zerglings now streaming around to the other side, doing as much damage as possible. Meanwhile, the turrets are up at the gold, so the Mutas are no longer going to be able to get over there without having to kill off a whole bunch of SCVs in the process. He's going to lose a lot of Mutas with that, unless he gets a lot of Mutas. You need a lot of Mutas to attack that kind of fortified position, but the but the Zerglings are coming in here. Orbital Command is an Orbital Command, it's not a planetary, so these Zerglings definitely going to be cleaning this up, and there's really just no chance for Terran to salvage this position here. a whole bunch of barracks here, just cranking out guys as fast as possible. Looks like 11 at a time. That's ridiculous. But with 3 bases, that's what you can afford. So, I mean, he's doing a good job of just cranking dudes out. And, well, a lot of Zerglings still streaming in here. A bunch of mutas still going after that orbital. And it looks like Terran's in a ton of trouble here. Just not enough units to defend this. You know, Zerg definitely just was able to just keep making Zerglings. And, I mean, it's not that Terran dropped the ball. It's just he lost too many guys in those exchanges. Too many Marines to those Banelings, and well, and those Zerglings, actually, the Zerglings did a lot there. And without that plus upgrade, those plus upgrades, Terran is just not having it. And I believe there's going to be GG here from Zaze in just a moment. Maybe he's going to play it out, I'm not sure. I definitely would GG here, because this is pretty much game. Because you can expect that Zerg is taking another expansion right now. He already has this one well saturated. He has his natural and his main, of course, well saturated, and that's just a lot of guys. There's really not much you can do about it. And if you don't have your third at this time, you are screwed. You know, you got to make sure Zerg either doesn't have those expansions or that you do have those expansions. So, I mean, it looks like he's trying to set up once again over here at the natural third. But Zerg, he just has a lot of Zerglings out. He's able to reproduce a lot of Zerglings. Actually, he's making 36 at a time right now. So, I mean, with that, Terran's definitely not going to be able to hold this position. And he's going to have to GG a couple of tanks out here. He even has a pretty good spread of buildings. Now, this seems kind of unusual to have buildings in this kind of array, but at the same time, with all these tanks and Marines coming in here, if you're parking your units here, which is actually a pretty good spot instead of like back here, then having buildings to constrict movement like that, just making it difficult for Zerg to come in from this side, make it difficult for Zerg to come in from this side with these 2 buildings, that's going to be really nice. And if you need to back up, you can, then it's like, you know, in a lot of situations, if Zerg gets in, you just lose. So, I mean, with this kind of building placement, it's like if Zerg gets in, it's still kind of constricted in the inside. So it is kind of nice like that. Meanwhile, it looks like Zerg gearing up for a full-on attack here. He has a lot of Zerglings, a whole bunch of Banelings being morphed in here. Let's see, does he have the Baneling speed? He does. So, I mean, with those Banelings, with that speed, you know, Baneling centrifugal hooks is just ridiculously fast. Just like the Zergling plus speed is a lot faster. Banelings just roll in there. Marines can't escape. You stim and you just still can't escape. The Banelings just catch up to you. Now, it's just slightly faster than Marine, and that's why you want that creep. That creep really just helps out significantly, but of course, the creep has not been able to be spread with that contain going on early on, and of course not all the way up to this position. So it looks like Zaze is going ahead to plop down another command center, but he does not have enough here to defend. He definitely does not have enough here to defend against that many Zerglings. He has a handful of Marines here, but it's not going to be enough. Now, you know, the tanks are pretty good, but not against that many dudes. So this is going to be GG here. Cleaning stuff up left and right. A couple of Thors on the battlefield. They're going to clean up with this small magic box going on. And, well, more Zerglings still streaming across the field here as Terran slowly loses a lot of forces here. So Zaze definitely going to be... I don't even know if that's... I don't know if it's supposed to be like Oyen, and then Zaze is like a team or something like that. I don't even know, but he's definitely not going to be having it. Because Zerg running here with just too many Zerglings, it's really kind of difficult for Terran to deal with that if you're up against this kind of really good, awesome Zerg player. So Kamikiri just, you know, not making too many drones early on. You know, just keeping up the pressure, forcing Terran to play a certain way defensively, and then when Terran moves out, just having even more dudes while droning up with that pressure, you know, earlier on. So it looks like Kamikiri definitely going to have to escape for now, build up a couple more forces. Just too many Marines coming out at one time, you know, if you have only Zerglings. You know, it looked like he didn't make a lot at once. He definitely could have made a whole bunch instead of just like the few that he did. I guess maybe just going up a little bit harder. Let's look at the drone counts. It's at 65 now. Terran's only at 25 SCVs, so I mean he's definitely going to be dropping the ball here in just a moment. Maybe he's just going to go for one last push here, see what he can do. You know, with all those Zerglings, you might expect that Zerg just doesn't have this expansion. Like, oh, maybe he's just spending his money super well and just doesn't have the expansion. But Kamikiri just being too smart for that, having too many dudes and the expansions. You know, you can't top that. It's like a player that has good macro, You can't really, you know, if you don't have quite that good of a macro, it's just not, you're not going to have it. So Kamikiri pulling ahead with a whole bunch of mutas now, and there's just not enough Marines. There's, you know, once you get a critical mass of mutas, there's just not much you can do about it. You know, like that person has to really screw up, or you have to have Thors and they have to get splash damage shots off, and there's a GG from Zane, or Zaze, I should say. And yeah. High Masters level, once again, against Grandmasters level. So I hope you guys enjoyed the cast. I will be doing a couple more in just moments, so don't go anywhere if you're live. And if you're watching the VODs, check out the other ones. There, some of them are pretty good. So, you know, it's all good.